Hello everybody. So I'm gonna do another video here, except this one is gonna be 5 ways to handle depression. And I know this seems kind of like a weird video to almost start off, kind of kick off my channel. I did do a reaction video to another social environment type thing a little earlier this week, but this is gonna be like the first real serious video that I do. And I think the biggest reason I want to do this was just because of the experience that I've been through. And part of me, it's so sad that people feel like this. And I really feel for everyone who's like myself. And I hate to call it a handicap, but when something doesn't work up there, doesn't work right, it makes life a lot harder than it needs to be. And it's very frustrating. And so this is to hopefully one day help a lot of people. Probably in the beginning it'll only be 1 or 2 people, but that's fine. I'm really sick of society and how we are. I'm not trying to be like society's awful, but I mean just the way we think, it bothers me, and I just want to get my thoughts out there. And so, just a disclaimer, I have gone through a lot, me personally, and so I don't say these things. These things I'm gonna say, sometimes maybe they'll trigger you, maybe you won't like what they say at certain parts. But just know that I'm not saying that out of being mean. I'm not saying that trying to be a hard ass or anything like that. It's truly what I've done to get myself in the position I am right now, because I'm doing I'm doing pretty well. I'm fairly successful in terms of, not a bum. I got a good job, somewhat 2 jobs. On a side note, I'll get to it later, but I'm a teacher, but the class I was supposed to teach just got canceled, so wah. But anyways, so yeah, just a disclaimer, I'm not blowing smoke. This is real stuff that I went through, and this is how I got through it. I've had depression for many, many years, probably close to a decade now, so this is not a new topic for me. I do know what I'm saying, and I'm excited to do this. I wanna help people. It's frustrating, the world we live in sometimes, but anyways, so number 0, possibly the most important one. It's to dabble that like button real quick. Would you mind? Yeah, it's right there. Thank you. And if, not to be a little sus, but if you could, subscribe as well, that would help a lot. But, appreciate it. Anyways, let's get on to the actual number 1. And number 1 is social interactions. And I know this might trigger some of you, because maybe some of you guys are introverts, but I'll get to it, don't worry. But the first thing, really, go out with friends. Seriously, never ever stay at home because you're not feeling well. It's not gonna help you. It's gonna make you feel worse, if anything, because you're gonna be sitting there alone while your friends are having fun. I have never once regretted going out when I've been feeling like bad, feeling awful. But what I have regretted is not going out, just sleeping in my bed. I've never actually been to a concert. I don't know how either. It just hasn't happened. It's weird. It has not lined up. I've been invited to a bunch, but it just never lined up and never was able to go. But I could have went to this one, and I just didn't want to. I didn't want to get out of bed. I was probably one of the worst times of my life, probably second worst, I would say. And I just didn't get out of bed. I didn't go, and I regret that way more than any other part than going out. And so just go out. Don't go out with coworkers. Go out with friends. I mean, some people, I know it's very hard. You don't have a lot of friends, maybe. But another thing too is, don't be afraid to reach out to people you haven't talked to in years. Like, people are not rocket science. I mean, people want to be talked to. I mean, I just reached out to my friend Eric. It's been over a year, and he immediately texted me, "Hey man, it's so good to hear from you, this and that." And as a society, this is where we're going to get a little triggered, but cut the crap, alright? Just because they're not texting you doesn't mean they're not important to you. We need to stop having that mindset. That is not the proper mindset. Reach out yourself. I know. It's
like, well, if they don't have the energy to reach out to me, why should I reach out to them?
Listen, we all get busy, lives get busy. I can almost guarantee 99% of the time, they didn't mean to do it to hurt you. They're just busy themselves, and they're probably thinking the exact same thing. There is no reason not to reach out. I'm a very introverted person. Trust me. I'm gonna put up a graphic real quick. When I took the Myers-Briggs thing, I guarantee I'm very introverted. So I get it. I know. I know that seems very odd for me to say, but reach out. There's no reason not to. You know, just do it. Just do it. There's no reason not to. You're gonna feel better for it. So, and even right now with COVID, I know it's kind of tough, but there's still, you can game, you can stream movies, you can do online board games, iPhone games, meme sharing. Come on, I regularly download memes and send them to my friends. Seriously, it's much better. Watching sports together. What I don't recommend, and I know I'm going pretty ranty on this first one here, social media. You're watching the highlight of somebody else's life. It's gonna make you feel like garbage. You're gonna look at it and go, oh, I'm not having that kind of fun. Oh, I'm not getting married. Oh, I'm not having kids. You're seeing somebody else's highlights. Create your own flippin' highlights. Stop looking at social media and being like, oh, they're having so much fun, why aren't I? Don't do that. There's no reason to do that. So, anyways, sorry. Well, that failed miserably. I was trying to change my lights for every single number we went to, but my speaker, the Google Home, was like, nope, sorry. It was like, no, sorry, there's no lights connected right now. Really? Because I'm using one right there, and there's one over there. What? Anyways, what were we doing? Oh, right. The second thing is being productive. And now I know that seems like something your parents would say. It's like, you gotta go out, you gotta stop laying in bed all day. But like, seriously, like, just find something to do. Don't sit around and wham. I know that sounds awful. I know it does. I've done it. I've sat and just wham. I still have done it. Did it a couple weeks ago. It happens. But try to get yourself in the mindset of not doing that. Try to limit it. A lot of this stuff I'm saying, you don't have to always be doing these things. You just have to keep it in mind and just hope, not hope, because that makes you not do it. But you gotta try. You gotta put in a little bit of effort. The hardest part is trying. It's starting something. And so just try to be productive. Clean your room, organize your coins if you do that kind of nerdy stuff. But do something. And maybe it's taking a class at a community college if you're a little older and you have some spare money. Making something work. So a lot of times at work, we'll make things easier for our coworkers. I have a couple of good friends at work who are really good at software engineering. That's what we do. But they make software that's easier for our coworkers, and it's not even like overly complicated stuff. It's like pull data from two databases and merge it, and it just makes their life easier. And it doesn't have to be something complicated like that. You could just make a better system at work and implement it and have your coworkers enjoy it, and then they'll love you. And it's great, and it's a great feeling when you help everyone. It really is. And so just volunteering somewhere, it doesn't matter as long as it feels achievable. Like, I like video games, and for a while, what gave me a lot of pride, I don't know why, it doesn't really do as much anymore, was getting trophies and achievements in video games. It made me feel proud. It's weird looking back at it now, because it doesn't really that much, but it did. And I actually, I won a trophy award, okay, so PlayStation, there's trophies for their achievements. So it wasn't a trophy. I didn't win a trophy. I won a shirt, but it was for getting trophies. I'll just get it real quick. Probably can't see me yet. Look at this thing. Platinum Chasers. Great YouTube channel, by the way. I hope he's doing all right. Haven't been a little too busy, so I haven't actually been able to watch. But fantastic YouTube channel. Absolutely amazing YouTube channel. If you ever like gaming, I highly recommend watching it. And maybe mine if you want to. I'll probably put it up there for you to click if you want it. It's mostly trophy stuff. If you're not into that, then that's totally fine. This is a completely different channel. I don't want to mix the two, to be honest with you. But yeah, so be productive. Do something you want to do. Don't waste your life and time, especially if you're younger in your 20s. Don't do it. Don't do it. In your teens too. I didn't realize how much time I wasted as a teen. It really could have done something special in my life if I just took all that time and actually applied it to do something. It'd be fantastic. That's really hot. Oof. Number 3, mindset. And I can't stress this one enough. I really can't. It's probably the biggest one on here. Changing your mindset is it's the classic glass half full thing. And I know it sounds so corny. I know, like,
You have to look at things with a glass half full.
yeah, I know it sounds cliche, but we spend so much time focusing on what we don't have. Stop. I did the same thing. I've done the same thing. You spend so much time focusing on what you don't have that you forget to focus on what you do have. I know that sounds so corny, and it's literally exactly like when your dad's like,
Well, there's starving kids in this country or whatever.
but it's partially true. Like, yes, I don't have the things in life that I want to. Yes, the class that I wanted to teach and I was going to earn some extra money off of, and it would have been great, and I really enjoyed doing it. It got canceled, and it sucks. And now I'm not going to make as much this year, and it's like, oh man, poor me, and this and that. And, I was really hoping to do that. But it gives me time to focus more on my YouTube channels. It gives me time to do other things that I might enjoy, and maybe possibly find another job, a side job. I was just told today, so I haven't really had much time to think about it. But, enjoy more time drinking coffee and hot chocolate and tea. It's still really hot. Come on, man. Ah, fudge. Anyways, man, I'm really looking forward to this. Probably not gonna even sip it until the end of the video. But what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, mindset. And so, it gives me more time to maybe work out more consistently, at least, not just once or twice a week. You gotta focus on things you do have. I know it sounds so corny, but did you go to Dunkin' this morning and get your caramel iced coffee? Did you go to Starbucks this morning? Did you go out to dinner? Did you go to Burger King or McDonald's? I know that sounds, for me, that's special, going out to fast food, because like that stuff's so bad for you. I don't go out very much, like that much, to be honest with you. But when I do, it's special. You go out to, like, every little thing. Was your drive into work today not painful? I don't know about you guys, but my drive into work makes me want to punch the monitor on my screen and my steering wheel. Like, oh, every day somebody drives awful. But there's been a few days where I make it to work, no problems. It's like a 45-minute drive, so usually there's at least one problem. But when it's God bless when that happens. And those little things you gotta stack up. You gotta stack up the little things, because they make all the bad things much better to deal with. And you gotta look at bad situations and think, okay, how can I benefit from this? You have to. Otherwise, you're just gonna dig yourself a hole, and you might as well jump in it yourself. And I know it sounds awful. And this one might come off like a little weird, but when a family member dies, somebody you really loved or cared about dies, it sucks. But you got to look around and go, I'm not. It kind of makes you. It teaches you that time is valuable, and that to not waste it, and it makes you really enjoy your relationships with everyone else a lot more than you would have if that person hadn't died, if that makes sense. So at least for the first death in your life, that usually is the case. You realize how short life is, and it really changes how your perspective is. And sadly, sometimes you need that reminded to you. And that has happened to me a couple times where, I forget how short life is, and, somebody who I care about almost passes away, and it happens. Or has, and it happens, and you gotta take those, and you gotta take them as lessons, so you don't make that mistake again. And it's, if you do that, you're gonna realize that your mindset can change real quick. It's just, I'm gonna go over something that's gonna reinforce that real quick here soon, but we're gonna switch to number 4. Is this finally ready? A little bit, not too much. Anyways, number 4, therapy. Now, this one is a little bit frustrating for some, because you do have to pay for therapy most times. You can go to things like BetterHelp, or and try to find something through the church or something like that. Usually there's something, but it really helps you, not just for somebody to talk to. You can always get a best friend, and I strongly encourage friends to reach out to people, especially, not to be one-sided here, but men do need to be reached out to sometimes. They don't like sharing. if you haven't noticed. And so, oftentimes they let things build and no one knows. And so when you spot something in your friend, especially if he's a male, reach out. You never know. You don't know what's going on in their mind. Not trying to be one-sided here, but women often, not always. There's exceptions. Say how they're feeling. Men do not, for the most part, usually, or at least stereotypically. And so it's good to reach out to them because you don't know what they're thinking and what's going on. So I do encourage that. But on the flip side, going to therapy, it's not just someone to talk to. You're going there to learn. You're going there to, in the beginning I called it tricking myself, but as I kept going and I kept realizing it's kind of relating back to the mindset thing. It's you're changing your way of thinking. And I think the best thing that I learned from therapy was triangles. Yes, I'm serious. Triangle, the cognitive triangle. And it's the thoughts turn into words, which turn into actions. And you repeat that cycle. And this is what I'm going back to before when I said, you're digging yourself a hole. Because if you think bad things, you say bad things, and then bad things happen. And you just keep digging. You might as well just keep digging that depression hole. But if you change your mindset and you keep thinking, okay, good thoughts, good words, good actions. Good thoughts, good words, good actions. Good thoughts, good words, good actions. And all of a sudden life changes, your perspective changes, and it's really amazing. If you keep doing that, you will have days where you're realizing it. Like you'll have days where it's like everything's going to crap, but you can see the light in each and every little problem. And you get, not only do you just build some confidence, but you don't let it bog you down, and it doesn't become as bad anymore. And it's just, you think to yourself, oh, wow, this day really sucks, how can it get any worse? But in reality, it's, this day is really not horrible. I'm going to go home, I'm going to have dinner, it's going to be great, maybe I'll have some ice cream. It's just a weird example, but you just follow. It's really isn't that bad. It really, there's a lot of days that we think everything's crumbling, but it's not. And it just, try to look at the good in every little thing. So it kind of relates to the last one, the mindset, but it's true. Therapy really helps you, enables you to see it. The mindset is great, and it's great talking about it, but therapy kind of gives you the tools to do that a lot of the times. So that's why I do encourage it. I know I don't like spending a lot of money. I'm pretty frugal if you don't know me. But therapy is one of those things that are worthy investment in yourself. So I do highly recommend doing that. And then the last thing I got is kind of simple. Don't make it worse. And, what I mean by that is don't let your physical being be worse. Keep your hygiene up. Brush your teeth every day. Comb your hair. Oops. I'm getting a little long here. I need to go ask a friend to get a haircut here soon. But, don't stop eating. Don't develop an eating disorder. Don't eat too much. Don't become overweight like 40% of America. Don't disconnect yourself from your friends. Don't disconnect yourself from your family. This is a big one. Don't stop yourself from falling in love. Be careful. Look for red flags. But don't lock your heart away. I know it's so natural, especially after the first time. It's so natural just to become cold-hearted. Don't do it. Don't do it, please. You're just keeping yourself away from enabling yourself. Don't be stupid, but don't lock your heart away so no one can have it. It's just, you're going to spend years alone when you could have been finding somebody, so that's one other thing. Don't do that. Don't let it stop you from having your coffee. Now, I'm not a big fan of going out to Dunkin' and Starbucks every day and spending $3, but if that's the thing that makes you happy in the morning, you know what? If it's worth it, it's worth it. If you're like me and it's like, that's too expensive to do over the course of a year because you're spending 3 times 350, I get it. But if that's something that makes your day, do it. Just do it. It's not a problem. Don't let depression stop you from having that iced coffee. It's just ridiculous. Allow yourself to be happy. And then this one's kind of a big one, a little bit, but don't spend your money to oblivion though. Don't take all your money and be like, oh, well, I want all these amazing things. Don't let depression take control of your life. Whether it be financially, physically or mentally. Just don't let it take over. Don't make it worse. Because if you keep having bad thoughts, they'll turn into words and they'll turn into actions. And if there's one thing I want everyone to take away from this video, it's your thoughts, words, actions. Remember that triangle. I'll probably put up another image of the triangle here in a second, but, you know, just, yeah. I hope that's helped. Thank you for listening. You know, like and subscribe if you haven't. It'll give me more want to do these videos, I guess you could say. It just gives me a little more encouragement to do it. Plus, it's just good because I do want to build the channel. I do want to get this information out there. So yeah, have a good one. Thank you.